There's been a ton of rumors surrounding the Detroit Lions, and you name it, it's been said. The player, the team, the trade, it doesn't matter which position. Well, it's clickbait season. It's the trade deadline. And as expected, the Detroit Lions have formally, unformally announced their trade plans. And whether it's been confirmed or announced, well, what it is, well, it's this. We're going to dive right into it. Dan Campbell made a statement today, and we're going to dive into what Kelvin Shepard just said last night. And I think between the two, you're going to get your answer. What are the Lions going to do? Who are they bringing in? Who are they not bringing in right now?
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down
All right, welcome back to Rockhound Detroit Lions. I'm Will Rock, and man, I can't thank you enough for being here. Do me a quick favor, tap the like, subscribe, right? Get in there and leave us a comment after the video and let us know how we're doing. So two major things have happened in the last 24 hours. Number one, well, three things, really. Number one, Josh Paschal is expected to return, so that's huge for the defensive line. Number two, Kelvin Shepard made a statement yesterday during the media sessions that is going to reign true for this season's trade deadline, and we're going to get into that. Number three, today, about an hour ago, Dan Campbell let us know what the trade plans are. Is it definitive? Potentially. And are they going to bring somebody in? Maybe. Let's get right into Kelvin Shepard first, and then we'll bring in Dan Campbell, and I'm going to let you guys know what's happening here in just a moment.
It depends on who the player is, the position of the player. Obviously, some positions are more complex than others. You try to plug and play a middle linebacker, that's impossible to do in this system, where we're at in the year and where we're at schematically. But obviously, I mean, those positions vary. You get a D lineman, you can plug and play him, tell him get off the ball and go. But I don't see a need or necessity to go and reach for anything or anyone. I think that's very disrespectful to talk about that with the guys that we've have, and I feel like the respect that they've garnered by the work they've put in through 7 weeks. But I leave all that up to Brad. They do a tremendous job. That's what I have a luxury of doing here. I get the luxury of just being a defense coordinator. I don't have to try to be the GM. I don't have to try to be the head coach. I don't have to try to be the linebacker coach because I'm surrounded by an ecosystem of elite guys in their kind of respective groups. So I'm able to just go up to my office and focus on calling the game on Sunday, Monday, Thursday night, whatever day that may be that week. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity here.
All right, so you heard it there from Kelvin Shepard. One, very thankful just to be in the job that he's in, and he absolutely loves it. Two things that really stood out to me about his answer here, and the question was, if a player were to be brought in, how fast would that player be able to acclimate to your system? And his answer was, well, it really depends, right? Certain players, not going to happen. Other players, you can give them an easier assignment, and it can probably happen. But more importantly, he said that there is no need or necessity to reach for a player right now. He doesn't see, or discussing anyone as even, being a potential to bring into the defense. And I think that that's important to mention here, defense, because that's what he does, is defense. He feels that the players that he has on this defense have played well enough. They're doing great. They've got plenty of depth. And again, he's going to leave that stuff up to Brad anyway. That's Brad's job. But the two words, like he felt it would be disrespectful to go and reach for somebody and discuss bringing in other players when you already have guys in the locker room. So one thing for me is that I'm never going to expect a coach to disrespect the player. And if you're asking a coach or a positional coach or whomever, a coordinator, if you're going to bring a player in, do you ever think that they're really going to give you an answer? Do you really ever think that they're going to give you a straight answer? Probably not. But Shep seems to be so transparent at times. Like he's going to tell you like what, like he wears a heart on his sleeve, right? He's going to tell you what's up. And what he's telling you is, look, I think I got the guys. I think we're fine, right? We got guys coming back. We're good. All right. So then Dan Campbell today, I think he just kind of slammed the door shut, or did he open it? Let's find out what Dan Campbell had to say about this whole situation of bringing in some players or not bringing in some players in the next trade update. Let's get into Dan, man. Let's do it. Here we go. Maybe.
And we're excited. We're excited.
The last 2 years, Brad's got a piece for you at the deadline. I'm just curious, you're obviously focused on the next opponent. What does that process look like in terms of, doing everything side by side? How does he bring those players to your attention before pulling the trigger on a move?
Yeah, if there's somebody he knows that that he feels good about and that I would, then he'll bring it. Otherwise, he doesn't bog me down with any of that. And listen, that's the amount of time spent and players that are looked at between he and Ray and that staff is, you'd be shocked. I mean, in the hours it goes in. So they're doing the legwork. And if there's somebody that he thinks is intriguing, he thinks the price could be right, it's somebody maybe he fits us, it could be a need, then it comes to me like, hey, let's check this out. But otherwise, he just kind of stays away from that, which is all good, man.
How many people has he brought to so far?
I'm not telling you.
Do you expect to be active at all? I mean, do you expect?
I mean, look, I don't, but that doesn't mean we won't. I mean, you know, he's brought up a couple of things already. But there again, I'm so focused on the here and now and the roster we have in place, getting these guys ready to go. I love where we're at. I think the roster is I think it's healthy. I think it's in a good position. I think we have depth. But like I say, he's always looking to improve the roster. That's one of his jobs, and he does a hell of a job at it.
Does it ever go the other way? I mean, do you go to him and say, hey, I could really use a little help at this position?
Yeah, if I've got something on my mind and I feel absolutely, I'll go there. And we stay in open communication with that all the time, you know. So yeah, if I feel like there's something that is eating away at me a little bit, or maybe just a bit of a concern, sure, I'll bring that to his attention.
All right, so again, just like Shep, man, it's totally transparent with Dan too. And it's a very simple answer. Do you think that, you're going to be doing something this year at the trade deadline? And he was very clear. Number one, he does not think that they will. And there's reasons for it, right? Why would a team go out and trade? What would be the most important thing for them to go out and bring a player in, right? A giant hole somewhere. Do the Lions have a giant hole? No. Dan just said roster is healthy. Okay, so beyond a giant hole on the starting cast, if your depth was depleted, right? If your second and third string guys were depleted, that would be a cause to go out and trade, right? It would be. What did Dan just say? Roster has depth. Roster has depth. Roster is healthy. Guys still coming back. So no hole, no depth issues. Roster's healthy. We're in a lot better position than we were last season. It may not seem that way, but we are. We're in a much better position where we are right now, heading into week 9, than where we were at week 9 last year. It doesn't mean we haven't lost, some players this season, but it means we have a lot of them coming back too. Malcolm Rodriguez, Josh Paschal, DJ Reed, Terry and Arnold. Kirby will be out this week, but we have plenty of players coming back, and that's good. So he also said it doesn't mean that they won't do anything, right? Yeah, he doesn't think that they will. Quote, I don't, but it doesn't mean that they won't. And again, when it gets down into the nitty gritty, the 11th hour, and you have to make a decision, and right now the season's not on the line, but this is the last push. I mean, this is the last chance to do something. If something happens this weekend, then yes, they probably will do something. But as of right now, there is no expectation for any trade, right? And how many players are they talking about? What did he say? Brad's brought what? A couple of things to me. So we're talking two. We're talking 2 players potentially that may have been brought up during this whole entire time. I think it's more of a, offensive line, personnel personally. I wouldn't think that it would be a corner, and I don't think it's defensive end or defensive tackle. We got plenty of those. We got plenty. So who else could it be? All right. I think we're good. Matter of fact, I'm 100% positive we're good. We're good. Lions are going to be fine. So why wouldn't we know, right? Or here, let me go into a little bit deeper of maybe why the trade deadline is just so uncasual anymore. It is just clickbait city. And that's why I didn't do anything this year. Really, I had one guy that I work with every year that we spoke a couple of days ago, and he just said simply, look, there's a little movement here or there, but honestly, nothing. So when I confirmed it yesterday, I didn't do anything. I didn't do a video because I'm not going to go out and speculate. I guess next year I'll speculate a little bit more, and I'll just give you more of my feelings on it, just so we have more of the receipts out there. But I've been telling you since day one there wasn't going to be a trade for anything significant, and I think the Aiden Hutchinson deal signified that. But here's why we wouldn't know, about trades or why a team would make a move. Number one, there's always a little bit of secrecy around player health, and teams really never disclose the full truth about injuries. I know they're supposed to, but MRIs, long-term prognosis, re-injury risk, they're often kept, internal. They're not going to talk about that stuff. A player that's usually listed like day-to-day could actually be facing surgery. And so that could be part of a plan, going into the game, and you're trying to trick out your opponent, trying to fake them out a little bit. And then that changes the trade urgency. So right now you could be day to day trying to keep everybody at bay. Like maybe you're looking at a player, but you don't want people to know about it. So this player that we know is going to end up going down, we're just going to say is day to day for right now. Medical records are not shared, right? It's all private stuff. So we would never know what's really going on. But roster depth, internal evaluations, coaches have to trust the young backups more than the fans and the media realize. And so that really reduces the need for a trade. So if the coaches do trust these young backups in the secondary, why would they make a move? And just because you or I or the media or the independent media, whatever, just because we may not be as high on somebody as they are, doesn't mean that deserves a trade. Depth charts are fluid. We know that. Obviously, practice performance, positional flexibility, versatility, scheme fit, those are all great. But they're not always visible outside the building either. It's really hard to bring in a player and have them fit your squad. It's extremely tough. That's why you do the work in the draft, because then you know that they should fit you way more than any other player that you have not scouted or spent a bunch of time on. So a team might value the next man up development more so than the short-term rentals. I get it. Everyone wants to win a Super Bowl, but winning a Super Bowl doesn't mean that you cash in your future either. And so bringing in a very high cap player wouldn't make much sense. And to speak of that next, cap space. It isn't just about this year. Cap space is about future guarantees, future offsets, future restructures, future draft pools, future free agents, future, right? So you bring in a player now and you screw the future, forget the team. I think that if you don't know by now, here's the answer. The Detroit Lions want sustained success above all else. Why? Number one reason, financial gains. Well, they want a good product on the field. They want a good product that fans can be happy about. They want a good product that's marketable. They want a good product that, the fans can galvanize around certain individuals, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, David Montgomery. It's a great brand. Jack Campbell. The list goes on, right? It's a great brand. And right now, the Lions are printing money left and right. So they need and deserve sustained success to be able to do the things that we want them to do, which is win a Super Bowl. Obviously, sellers of players often will float names out there to kind of drive the price up, even if they don't intend to even move them. And that happens during this time. So if you start to spend a lot of your future cap and that player may not even fully fit, you just wasted a bunch of money and a player that may not work out. And then you have to weigh the compensatory pick formulas for all of this. Hey, if I bring this player in and then I lose them in free agency, am I going to get anything back? There's that option. Some teams will do that. They'll simply go out and make a trade, just hoping that compensatory pick formula works in their favor. Doesn't always happen. So there's a lot of strategic timing. There's a lot of strategic planning, scheme, locker room fit. There's a lot that goes into this. It's not just looking at a player on paper and saying, that is a good player, he deserves to be in Detroit. It's not that easy. I know people make it seem that easy, but it's not that easy. So at the end of the day, look, the trade plan is simple. The trade plan that's been announced or the trade plan that's been confirmed is what you just heard from Dan Campbell, right? He does not expect anything to happen. It doesn't mean that nothing will happen. And I think that really hinges on what happens in the Vikings game this weekend. Hey, if we lose 2 or 3 players for some ungodly reason, and gosh, I hope it doesn't happen, well then, yeah, they're probably going to have to do something, right? But as of right now, I'm not expecting any trades. Haven't been expecting any trades. And if we were going to go out and get someone, I did think it would be along the offensive line. But again, we don't really know the true health of Taylor Decker either. We don't know where he's at. But according to Dan Campbell, he's doing just fine. He's getting better. And he's going to play this weekend. So that's all that matters, right? And if all else fails, well, we'll just have to find someone to slide over to left tackle, right? I don't like that idea, but left tackle was the most important to me. We still might be able to bring somebody in, and they may not be, on another team. They could be on a practice squad or, a free agent. So that's it. That's your update for the Detroit Lions confirming their trade plans here in 2025. We'll pay it.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.